Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. This video will show you how I put together this mini album that I created and how I am binding it. I'm using ribbon for that, and then there is a binding piece, and then there are a whole lot of strips that I added, that I will add between the pages so that it will have a lot of, it will allow for some bulkiness, and so that the album will be sturdy and still be able to work with the bulkiness of the pages there. So here I am having some ribbon, and I decided to go with 2 colors of ribbon, similar to the colors that I'm using in this album. And I'm starting with the front of the album. And so I'm starting with 1 hole where I put the ribbon, and I don't care so much. I can just cut off like the first little bit of the ribbon there. It will be quite messed up by the time that I get done with this, but so I will cut off a bit of that. So I'm not too concerned with it making it look all nice and neat. So here I am kind of estimating how much of the ribbon I need. There will be a little room to wiggle at the time that the album is all bound up that way, but for the most part it is kind of easy to estimate how much ribbon I need, because it basically needs to fit through, needs that little side on the back side, and then come through to the front again, and then I want a little bow there, so I can pretty much estimate how much ribbon I need. And so here I am adding a page, one by one I'm adding a page, and then I'm depending on how much bulk is on the page, I am adding these strips that are exactly the same size as the binding part of this album. I'm going anywhere between 2 or 3 strips, sometimes 4 or 5, but for the most part I'm using lots of strips in between, mostly 2 or 3. So then I skipped a whole lot. Obviously it's the same process with each page there, so I'm getting down to the last couple of pages. I added a few more strips, realized that I hadn't created enough, had to restart everything. And so here now I am reaching the back side of the album, and so now here is where I have to kind of, not even yet, there's still room to wiggle again towards the end, but I basically kind of guesstimated how many of the strips I had, put them on a pile to see how much I still needed. It's still a little thinner than the spine has for this album, but it's still sturdy enough so that I felt like it was enough. I didn't need to add more strips in between there. And so here I am just working my way all the way toward the front again, and having a lot of strips in between there. And I'm usually I started working a little faster there, where I take all the strips with a page instead of doing the strips and then a page and all that. So I'm putting all the strips there, and then I'm putting the ribbon through the whole of the page. So here I'm grabbing, basically from the back side there, I'm grabbing the strips that I have in between. And again, they allow for the album to be a bit more bulky, these strips that I put in between. So here I skipped a whole lot, because obviously you don't need to see all of that. And here I am reaching the front of the album again. And so this is basically me finishing up this part of the binding up. So at this point the ribbon got a bit scrunched up, but that's okay. It all worked out fine. And so here I am checking out now. So you see here there still is a bit of wiggle room. Sorry if I'm a little off screen here. There is a bit of wiggle room with me pulling the string back and forth a little to even it out a little more, and I realized I gave it a little too much of the string, so which was just perfect because I didn't want, like, again, it was kind of wrinkled up, the blue ribbon there, and me having to pull back out a bit of the ribbon made it so that I wouldn't have to use some of the fresh unused ribbon, but all the ribbon is all the same, looks the same now. And so here I'm realizing maybe I can give it can still pull it out a little more and to make it to even a little more even. But now I'm getting to the point where I am pleased, and I can really now really pull hard on this because I have all these strips in between that allow for the bulkiness, because I don't like when you just squeeze the binding part, the spine part, all the way together, and then it opens wide toward where the rest of the album is. I just didn't like it. So this one actually now keeps the pages somewhat flat, and now I have a chance to just cut up the edges there from the ribbon so that the edges look nice. And this is my book, Bound. I'm going to leave you with summer close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. There is a free version of this album that will be available as a cut file to use with any of your cutting machines. So you can check it out on mistyhelltops.com. Also, there are process videos for each of the pages of this album, and you can find them on my channel, Misty Helltops Designs. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing. Bye!